Hello peoples of the interwebs, it's the Lunatic back again, and today we are going to look at how to download and play the Voya Nui online game. As always, with the previous games, we start out here on the BioMedia Project's website, which is biomediaproject.com. Now, they are a great repository of Bionicle content, the games, videos, pictures, music, story, promo CDs, etc. All sorts of great stuff on here. Check it out if you have any spare time whatsoever. You will not regret your time spent here. If you're any sort of Bionicle fan, at least. Maybe if you hated Bionicle, you regret all that time. But if you hated Bionicle, I can't imagine why you'd be watching this video in the first place. So, with that in mind, our big focus for right now, of course, is the games section, since that's what we're looking at. Retail games, I mentioned that in the previous video, that's whatever, nobody cares right now, at least if you want the Voya game. If you want one of the retail games, they're there. But Voya game, we go to web games. It's going to give this Flash player warning thing, where your browser's basically going to freak out because the games are built in Flash. They're all hosted on this website. Nothing's going to go wrong with it. If your browser gives you a warning about, oh no, everything is going to catch on fire, just, you go through and it's okay. It'll be fine. No worries. We'll proceed to web games with that out of the way. And again, you can stream the games, but I am much more a fan of doing it download. That way I've got it, I don't need to be connected to the internet to play, and etc. So what we're going to look at here is the Voya local server save. I have tried the built-in save feature on all these games, and none of them work, which is great. So, the Voya local server save, you'll click on it. It's going to ask you to download it. I just created a Bionicle Games folder on my desktop where I keep them all just to be found easily. So that's where you would download it. It'll of course give you a zip folder, which is this one right here. We're not going to download it because we've already got it, and I'll just stick this up out of the way. When you unzip that, it'll give you a folder. I renamed mine to Voya LSS. And inside of it is all of this stuff. And I think this stuff actually just unzipped straight into here, which was a bit of a pain. So I did specifically tell it to unzip into this folder to make my life a little easier. Now you're going to notice a couple of extra things in here. There's a shortcut to another Voya Nui folder that looks like it's that one. And there's an Apache Start Bat shortcut. Those we'll talk about in just a minute here. First of all, though, a little bit of a look at things. There's an installer.vbs thing, launcher.html, launcher.vbs, and then there's a launcher no save, etc. And there's a README text document thing of doom. We're going to open that real quick here and just take a quick look at it. It's got some information about the game, as the previous ones have had, some Flash player detection stuff. You can use cheat codes as a substitute for the save feature if you don't want to use it, but they're not as friendly as the other ones. So there's a cheat codes document somewhere. I didn't see it, but we'll take a look at that too in a little bit here. Methods of play: it can be played from an internet browser or standalone Flash player using the included exe file, which there are instructions for. Now, that's what we're going to be looking at. There are, of course, a couple of other ways to play it. You can do it online, and standalone Flash browser, stuff like that. I don't know. It needs Flash Player 8 or higher, which is a little bit more than I think the other two, which is fine. Flash Player 8 is old, and so Flash Player 10 is, I think, the current one that we've got. Now, if we're looking at how to install the game, it says install a local server program like XAMPP. Doesn't have to be that one, but that's the recommended one. There is no information on where to find that, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. So what I have done is I have gone and found it for you. If we grab this window, if we grab this window, move it over here, we have ApacheFriends.org. And this is where you want to go to get your XAMPP download. You're going to go do XAMPP for Windows. If you have Windows, of course. If you have one of the other ones, you'll want to do that. I don't know for sure if that'll change anything, but what you want to do is you install the exe. I've already got it installed for demonstration purposes here. And you will then, I'll just minimize everything, you'll run it. It may give you a warning about changing things on your computer. You just hit yes and go through with life. And it should pop up. Yep, here we go. Bitnami, apparently. And I have no idea what this means personally. It should be fine, though. It might just be because I've already got it installed. We're not really going to install it, just so you know. But we'll go through the setup here real quick. I don't think any of this stuff here is important. but I'm not 100% sure on that. It's probably best to leave it all checked. It's not like extra bloatware or anything. It's literally just parts of the program that you can choose whether or not you need to install. Because I don't know anything about it, I just choose to install all of it. Really, I think the only one that you need, though, from reading through the README is Apache. But you can't deselect that one anyway, so that's fine. We're going to go ahead and go through. And it wants to send it to XAMPP. That's where you want it, right? C:\XAMPP. I already have that. When I hit next, it's going to give a complaint about a folder not being empty. I'm just going to tell it to do 1. We're not really going to install it, but I want to walk you through the whole thing just so that you can see it. Now, XAMPP control panel for Windows supports different languages, so you can select whatever language you want. I only speak English. Oh, and the only other option is Deutsch, which I believe is German, unless I'm really wrong on a lot of my core beliefs about languages. But you'll hit next, and then it has this bitnami.com whatever thing. Just tell it no. You don't want to install that. That's some sort of extra thing that you really don't need. You hit next. Setup is now ready to begin installing on your computer. Next, and it'll begin installing. I'm going to cancel it because we don't need it. Now, what you have to do a few things before you can play the game now that you have installed that program. You need to open up your local disk C folder. I have some extra things visible because I do a lot of weird wibbly wobbly stuff in here. What you're going to look for is XAMPP, the folder. Just this folder, right? You don't need that other one, just this one right here. You're going to jump into it, and there's a specific thing that you need from here. Apache_start.bat. This is a bat or batch file, I guess, which will run the server. That'll basically open everything up. What I'm going to recommend you do, right-click on it, hit Create Shortcut, and then take that and put it into your main Voya Nui online game folder. So you just drag and drop it in there. I've already got one in there, so we're just going to delete this shortcut and move on with that. But that will put it in here, so you don't need to go and find this every time you want to start it. I'll show you what that looks like when you open it in a minute. My mouse is double-clicking. I do apologize. There is one folder that you need then as well, and it is htdocs. This folder, when you open it up, it will not have this Voya Nui in it. There are two ways you can get that in there. One, you can either, let's see here, you can either run installer.vbs, ready to install the Voya Nui online game. It will, in theory, yep, so it'll pop this up. This is where you want it to go. C:\XAMPP htdocs \. That's what you want to do. That will install it, right here. I forgot to mention that you can do the other method as well, which is to take the Voya Nui folder, copy it. You can either right-click it like I just did and hit copy, or you can just select it and then do Control-C on your keyboard. And then you can paste it in here. That will take a second, but it'll work just as well as the install feature. Back to the video. Once you have installed it here, you can very much so, you can just do the shortcut over here, and that will bring you into that folder. What I'm actually going to recommend doing, that's how I played it now, and I do vaguely regret that. Because you need to open it using this, launcher.exe. You can't apparently use the launcher.vbs, although you're supposed to be able to. It doesn't work for some reason. You got to use this launcher.exe. So instead of doing the way that I did it and coming into this folder to do it every single time, I would recommend doing a shortcut. So you create a shortcut for it, you grab that, you just drag and drop it over here. And that way you know that you always want to go to the shortcut for it. So, to get it started up, we don't need this window anymore. I'm going to just stick it up there. What you'll need to do to start everything off is open Apache Start Bat. It's going to pop up this, which is half in German for some reason and half in English. I have no idea why. Could not tell you. That's probably part of the thing about the languages that you can select, it being in German and English. I don't know if it says the same thing. Shut down and running. Please close this command only for shutdown. So that could be what that means effectively. Bitte would be, I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to translate the German, but so that's basically what that is. That you can just leave it running off in the background. I have another screen, so I always put it off to the side. We'll leave it here for the moment, though. And what we're going to do then is we're going to launch from launcher.exe. It'll bring us into the game. It will always show the intro here. You can skip that if you want. When you're ready to start a new game, you go there, but you just hit continue. And you can see I've still got the Nui Blaster, the powerful Xamarin Launcher. All of the details in here are the same. It saves my spot on the map. Oops. And if I go somewhere else, so if I even, just go up here, whether or not I go back to home or I just exit the game, every time I go back in, it will save my spot. Nice and simple, which I really wish you could do that with the Matanui Online game too. And there might be a way to do it. Maybe the download that I have is flawed in some way. I just couldn't get it to work. So, with that in mind, that's how you play the Voya Nui Online game. It's great. It's lovely. I absolutely adore this game. And even though it's a little bit tedious at times, super glad I got to replay it again. But I hope that you guys enjoy playing it and that this tutorial was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or run into any trouble, of course, and I will do my best to assist you. And yeah, I guess that's all for now. So to raw peoples of the interwebs, until next time, bye.